Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Tactical Breach Wizards, where today we kill an infinite number of people with this shield. That's what we spent all these perks working up to. I'm so looking forward to it. And I think with that we're ready to just move right along, right? We're in the middle of some pretty important business here. Oh hey, I was really expecting Zan's stress out thing to be like right near the end of the story. I mean, like, we're near the end of the story, obviously, but I was expecting it to be like less of a dream and more of a thing that happens in the final moment where his power like unlocks all the way and he becomes able to more directly counter Liv, given how their powers are kind of in the similar area, but I guess not. This is a cool outfit, whatever it is. Ah, shit. So we're doing this in Liboli. That's an odd choice. I brought you home, kid. I didn't grow up in sandbagged black sites. Well, maybe if you had, you'd have toughened up by now. Quieter than intended. I'm tough. Tough? You're broken, Vesker. One little snafu and you fell apart. Now I'm here to pick up the pieces. Look, what you really need is to kick some ass. What, Druid Mafia ass? It doesn't bring back my finest hour. That's why they're here. Face your fears, clear your mind, master the moment. You are a badass Special Forces operative and you're gonna ice every motherfucker in that room. Non-lethally. Whatever, breach. I mean, it's a dream. Who cares? We are absolutely allowed to kill in our dreams. Okay, Zan would love to finish with all team members at full health. That feels doable. This Zan here, out of curiosity. Okay. Familiar perks. This is not a dream doll situation. So what are y'all up to? 1 damage, 1 knockback. Okay. Just kind of unimpressive, honestly. So if we have this Zan, it's a little bit of a shame that I can't quite get to a position to grab this mana. Like, I wanna be in a position where I can predictive bolt. Like false prophet and predictive bolt and get value out of both of them, and I don't really think that's what's happening here. But what can be happening is I can just splatter this dude. Yeah, what the fuck, man? You need some toughening up. No pain, no gain. Okay, that's what we're doing. That does make finish with all team members at full health a little bit more challenging. But we get a good bit of support fire there. And then if I'm still allowed to control Dream Zan, if Dream Zan hasn't completely changed teams on us here, simple bolt burst. God damn, there it is. Show those fangs, Tiger. Uh-oh. I don't know why I did that. Killer instinct, baby. Okay, well, shit. Maybe we have to do this slightly differently. I was not expecting that. So, I mean, Dream Zan still runs into the room and we just, like, don't do anything else? Let this guy pop the fake Zan. And then now this Zan knocks this dude out and takes non-lethal damage from the other Zan. Okay. That's an interesting complication. And I'm not sure how we're going to navigate it going forward. You won't believe this, but you shooting me while I shot some fake gangsters hasn't resolved my guilt complex. Yet, tough takes time. Every steak takes a pounding to become its best. You know that tenderizing meat makes it softer, right? Oh, shut up and take a brain peek at what I got in store for you next. This looks like me. 4 of me in my goth phase. Exactly. Shooting 4 of me in my goth phase is going to do it, you think? Ever since Joe Dasa, you've been so afraid of doing the wrong thing. You put up all these guardrails you won't let yourself cross. Which are represented by goth me casting predictive shot in all directions. See, you get it. I wouldn't go that far. Well, it's time to face the most dangerous enemy, brother. Yourself. I mean, it looks trivial, though. Confidence, finally. I mean, it doesn't know it. It's going to be some tricky shit, and we're all going to get shot, and it's going to be terrible. I mean, okay, so, like, the thing that it looks like is we redeploy to here. I push that guy, he shoots that guy, and then it's really easy to get into the room from there. And what I like about this approach is the other Zan can't see me. If I have this Zan deploy over and breach, are you allowed to shoot without it being a huge problem? Yeah, okay, we're seeing the X. We'll just flatten that dude. And I guess you may as well predictive bolt. I don't know that I think they're going to do anything, but let's have at least one wizard go into the room. All right. I don't really want to do that for obvious reasons. Okay. So now we're starting to be able to see each other again, and so we must be wary. I'm wondering how sensible it's going to be for me to try to trigger my own predictive bolt. I mean, I guess it's really not happening. If I shoot at you, okay, we shouldn't catch hell here. You can just stand there and keep that door locked. And I guess you can do this. Maybe that turns into something. Nope, they're too smart for me. But we know it's safe to shoot from here. Oh, that pushes him backwards. Well, whatever. It'll be good enough. Because this Zan can just finish him off now. And then predictive bolt, and then we can go lock this door. Okay, I mean, it doesn't seem like exactly the most challenging thing. If I have this Zan, can they see each other now? No, still not quite. So we may as well fry you. Set up the predictive bolt. Push him into it. And then I'm going to step right here and predictive bolt just in case. I don't know for sure that this Dream Zan isn't going to fire upon the resolution of the predictive bolt, and if he does, I don't want him shoving the other Zan out the window. Okay, seems like we got there. Finish by the end of turn 2. Listen, I'm working under some complicated and, if I'm honest, murky conditions here. I'm doing my level best. I feel like the trauma factor of shooting myself that many times might have distracted from tearing down my inhibitions. Oh, man up, Zan. You'll have to do darker shit than that if you want to take on Liv. You know, there are some lines we shouldn't cross, though, right? Huh, not me. Be like me. Be free. Okay, well, it does sound appealing when you say it using only one-syllable words. Exactly. Not worth saying if it won't fit on a bumper sticker. Is that a reliable test to solid life advice, though? see, you're worrying again. We're going to break you with that. All right. It's a hellish maze of restrictive inhibitions and paralyzing doubts in there. Yeah, that checks out. So get your ass in there and let's rip it to shreds. Sorry, is the it in that sentence my ass or... Okay. We just got to seal the reinforcement doors and yeah, no, it's going to be fine. So... I'm definitely inclined to just run in here, push this guy up, and so he will predictive bolt that dude. And then next turn, obviously, we can potentially push that reinforcement door. I mean, it seems like a pretty good move. That means you can run in here, grab this intel, and if I attack... Oh, never mind, I can't. If I false prophet to here... He shoots his own false prophet. Alright, I mean, I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine, whatever. The important thing is we got the door clear. Yeah, you just don't have anything to do. Alright. I was kind of expecting a little bit of help from this guy. I thought he was going to, you know, predictive, but whatever. So we can 3-bolt burst you for lethal, but we want to move the other Zan out of the way first. And there's not really anything fancy to do here. We'll just shut you down. Now that I've got them separated... and then sadly, you cannot predictive bolt in a way that matters. Yeah, the important thing about Zan is you really just got to keep him away from himself. Oh, how I wish we had explosives. All right, so this Zan kind of can't do anything. If I line them up, and then we have this guy like run to here. It doesn't quite push. Well, this will push him in front of the predictive shot at least. That's something. And then I guess predictive bolt and the Zan can't really do anything useful either. We're closing up on that other door. Alright, if I step... Nope, I still don't have vision. Might have to run around this way. I guess there's no reason not to grab intel. But the question is, how would I ever deal with the situation I find myself in now? Let's put you out a window. If I false prophet here, the prophet dies before... Yeah, before he gets to interact with the door. Alright, so I think the answer is we wait until next turn, use the false prophet to open up the space to move to, and it'll be fine. That is a little complicated. I guess it's not that complicated, right? So I do this, and then all of that lets me move in and seal. And at this point, it's basically over, right? This Zan kind of doesn't get to participate. Actually, I don't even really want you to be over there. I want him to be able to like bounce this guy off the corner. I think we're just doing very little for a couple of turns. All right, and then this allows you to participate a little bit at least. Can I false prophet? This'll do it, right? Because he'll support fire. Nope. I was hoping we were gonna get the support fire and then the other thing, but actually this totally does do it if I remember to set up predictive bolt first. Jen? Sorry, Zan, but your evil twin sucks. We gotta put him through a window. But we were just starting to work together. Listening to women makes you weak. All right, yeah, we can punt him. Defenestrate, the worst Zan. Do I still control the worst Zan? Oh, well then this seems like it makes this pretty easy, right? Bye-bye. No fear! Okay, alright. I mean, good, I guess. We did it. How are you here? Well, I was having a nightmare about sun bears, and then I heard someone being mean to my friend. Damn it, are there no privacy settings on these things? I mean, I'm glad you're here, but I do not want you in some of my others. Look, I'll teach you some mind guard charms after this, but we should focus on your shit first. Why is your dream clone such a prick? You know, I think he might be my dad. He had this way of making me feel bad for not being more Lebolian, even though he's the one who brought us to the DSR. He even pushed me to enlist. And Man Up was definitely a dad classic. Was your dad a prick? He was. I mean, he was complicated, I guess. Yeah, everyone's complicated. If your son struggles to say you weren't a prick, you were kind of a prick. Well, that's just a hard thought to hold, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I do. I don't mean to push. Just offering like a cold splash of water, if you need it. Thanks. I did. Should we be concerned that getting rid of him didn't wake you up? Oh, that's because he's back at Enormous and in the next room. Maybe your dream brain felt like this arc needed more of a climax. Well, then let's not disappoint. Enormous, you say? Yeah, okay, yes he is. That's a fairly large dream Zan. Okay, so... Zan gone bad. He's prickly, he shoots for 4, so that's pretty serious. Okay, all we gotta do is, yeah, figure that. There are two wolves inside each of us, and one of them shoots you for 2 damage in the 4C phase. Well, I mean, obviously we have a pretty easy close up here. In theory, it's not too hard for us to chain bounce some dudes into positions where they shoot him. Like, if I have Jen run to here, grab intel. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but if I push you to there, and then I push you to there... What's the third push gonna be, I wonder? I mean, it could be to push Jen again, but that feels... I want to be in cover, right? Well, I suppose it can then be to push him, but the pushes all kind of happen simultaneously. I think if I push him like this, this attack's not gonna hit him, and in fact, it probably is gonna hit Jen, so I probably shouldn't do that. We'll just have this guy eat the other predictive bolt. Yep, and then the counterattack, that's all well and good. Okay, and we've done some solid disabling work there. But really, Oops, sorry. That was, again, supposed to be a rewind. But really, shouldn't Zan be in here already? I guess, what's he gonna do? Like... Oh, right, that space is... Yeah, obviously. What I was thinking is that we might be able to set him up for some kind of, like, predictive bolt or something, but on second thought, no, I don't think that makes sense. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna, I think, stick to the plan there. Yeah, what I like about that is it does open up a lot of the room. So I'd have to Gale Grenade this guy twice to get him over to shoot at Zan. I could just have... So if I have Zan go here... Have him do a predictive bolt, and then just use a Gale Grenade. And let's do 1 damage to this guy while we can, because it's free. Okay, it does... it does provoke that level of violence. Fair enough. If I throw it so that it doesn't hit that other guy, does it still... Yeah. Alright. And sadly, she can't throw grenades while in cover, even though that's kind of like exactly how you're intended to throw grenades. So, I don't know. Do we just both take cover and hit end turn? That doesn't feel very strong. We could spend both of the Gale Grenades moving the Mental Guard over to do some damage, and then, you know, it's not very exciting. I can certainly do this. And then... we don't have anybody shooting us in the normal way anymore. I might just take cover and pass the turn. Oh, if I do this, sorry, I have to also take cover on there. Yeah, alright, Zan. Don't predictive bolt. Just take cover. This is not a bad start. This is an okay first turn. Now, I was hoping they were going to maybe play into each other a little bit more than that. I can certainly make this Mental Guard kill that guy very easily. Out of curiosity, if I put Zan here, lay down the predictive bolt, and then... does he shoot everybody who was part of it? He doesn't. Okay, that's interesting. So there might be a version of this that kind of works. The problem is the static blast. Yeah, the problem is there's just not a better way to do the thing I'm doing here. There's no place that I can take proper cover to throw a grenade from behind. If only she would throw the grenade while she was crouching. Well, I think we're gonna have to maybe ignore Navy Seer Zan for a second here. If I shoot this guy into the wall, he's gonna exterminate that guy. That does feel pretty important. Ooh, oh, except I gotta remember, that resets her move when I do that. So we should do this, and then that. Zan gets the support fire, and that lets us seal a door. That feels pretty important. Sorry, I'm being a big doofus. I want to not have run into the open with Zan before doing that? Oh, that's annoying. He doesn't go down that way. Jen has to... There we go. Hit him in a way that leaves the angle open. Okay. So that's one problem solved. Now, I think I do have to spend a Gale Grenade getting myself into cover. Do I want the intel? It's an interesting question, I think. Well, I definitely know that one thing I want to do is static blast this guy. Ah, that's a bummer. I don't want to have to stand in a place. Let me see about like in front of one of the windows. Can I get a shot that moves him sideways? I can't. I really need him to move into the Navy Seer, obviously. I hate to think I'm gonna have to Gale Grenade to make it work, but I might have to Gale Grenade to make it work. And the reason I'm not taking the briefcase right now is I'm wondering if I need to get it, somehow give it to Zan. Because a false prophet would be awfully helpful right now. So if I do this, and I just push him in, I know this is just going to kill Jen. It's not the plan. Okay, I'm just making sure. He does not respond with lethal damage. To the predictive bolt. Okay, I was hoping that was going to be enough wall cover. It is not, which means there is no way to generate the kind of cover I would need. Because she simply will not take actions while crouching. So the only thing we have, what we must be 100% reliant on, is getting the mental guard to shoot him. And if I do so in a way that requires me to move again afterward. Well, that's... What am I talking about? The static blast refreshes my attack. I know this. That was more damage than I was expecting. Well, he shoots for 4. Yeah, alright. So if I run back to here... I'm not sure how I'm going to make it to the intel. I might have to use the Gale Grenade. I certainly don't want to. But if this Zan never moves... Well, this works, right? Yeah, I have cover from everybody. Yeah, okay. I might have to... Oh, you're kidding me. So after all that, it's still going to take the Gale Grenade. That really sucks. There's no place I could be that would actually be closer. Yeah, alright. Okay, and now... all I have to do is... not do that. Hold on. All I have to do is push him into a predictive bolt, though, and we're good. Which we can absolutely set up. Took a little bit more doing than I was expecting. No, that doesn't work because he's in that column. I guess actually Jen can just move to a broom breach, right? Because like anywhere over here is going to get me an angle. All right. All it takes is a lot of teamwork, sometimes with people who are not actually on your team. There's an important lesson in there somewhere. When Zan's self-loathing became debilitating, Jen's friendship was a lifeline. It takes a trust that deep to fully unlock the power of another wizard's vessel. But when you do, the rewards are... it says here, +3 knockback. For one mission only, Jen's vessel has given your standard shot a ridiculous boost. Okay, that's interesting. It's not an extension of his power, it's an extension of hers. Because it's her friendship that... Yeah, that makes sense. And that's a cool way to play it. So, you want to talk about it? Adorable. Thanks for the assist. I never had backup in a self-hate dream before. That wasn't the first? He gets me when my emotional immune system's down, when it's busy with something else. Your chat with Liv back in Kalan. Yeah. I'm just lost this time, Jen. I could barely cope when I thought I'd made the hard choice. How am I ever going to get past knowing I made the mother of all fuck-ups instead? Well, I think you were already coping with it. I never understood why you were so cut up about that night. If you'd saved the hostage and Liv was only briefly captured from her own mistake, why was it haunting you? Because, no, rhetorical, let me finish pop-psyching you, please. I think you were already carrying the weight of the truth. You just couldn't look right at it yet. Well, it sure as fuck got heavier when I found out. Oh, I'm sure. I'm just saying, don't think your 2 years of pain were nothing. It's all progress. I don't know that this is even a helpful avenue to go down. And it's not all on you. Hey, what's that gross Navy saying you told me? It takes more than one asshole to make a shitstorm. Yeah, no, that is a gross saying. Right. Graphic, but valid. Well, who else am I meant to blame for this? Look, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this. You froze at a bad time to freeze. But the story you're telling yourself is that you walked into a picnic and got someone killed. And I'm saying you were thrown in a blender and you got out alive. You weren't able to save everyone else thrown in there with you. That's the extent of your crime. I want to believe that. I'm trying to see it that way. But we're walking into a blender the size of a nation. I don't know how to tell myself I'm not going to get you killed. Well, you're not choosing this for us. You're an asset we need to win. You kicked this off, but you followed my lead on the investigation. You listened to Dahl when her objectives took priority, and now we're following the Moss plan. When you form a team, you let it be a team. If we win, it'll be because of that. And if we lose? Well, then I guess toxic leadership is super effective, but it'll still suck. Yeah, I think Jodasa was a one-off, but even if it wasn't, having limitations doesn't mean you're broken. If it turns out your brain struggles with decisions, maybe get out of the tactical leadership game, but other than that, who cares? People are decisive when they care less about the consequences. If caring too much turns out to be your problem, you're doing all right. Yeah, thanks. I don't think I'll ever forgive myself as much as you do, but hearing all this helped. It's moving my baseline. From where I've been at, that's worth a lot. I mean, that's downright sweet. I don't think we're doing any outfit changes. Nah, we're good. Just accumulating massive piles of confidence. Presumably, it could have some use other than enabling outfits. Friends, excuse me if I'm buzzing, but every Medelan kid dreams of sitting at the stone table someday. I dreamt of goring rabbits. All the same, please use coasters? Alright, let's talk counter heist. We're just going to slide right on past that. Honestly, it's hard for me to imagine the thing she said is true either. Like, I don't know. When you were a kid, did you dream of being in the ruling position of your country? Is that a thing you wanted? It seems like a strange desire for a child to me. Maybe my desires were the strange ones. We've let Reactor believe we have secret tunnels leading into the mines, so they'll send Bori down there to block them off. Assuming that play works, we still have 3 major problems left to solve. So which do we want to tackle first? Bori's not going to light up that mana vein just because we asked. Yeah, I've got some thoughts, but you all know him better than me, so I'll put it to you first. Well, can we turn him? I don't see it. Bori's not a zealot, but he's shit scared of Kennedy. What if we could guarantee his safety? I just don't think he's rational that way. His fear's animal, not calculated. I smell it on him every time I'm a canine. Logical argument don't cut through musk that thick. I mean, I can just stand near what you want him to burn. Could that work? Is there splash on his spell? Yeah, a little. But, doll, his fire's worse than it sounds. Your armor won't help. You'd pass out in seconds. Doll shrugs. Okay, it's a fair point. We shouldn't throw our only armor at the one thing it's weak to. Well, I didn't hear any other volunteers. I mean, if you want him to burn someone we don't like, I go canine, he goes feral. Explain? My bite's worse than my bark. Makes anyone see red. If I turn him rabid, he'll torch his own mom if she gets too close. Well, that's interesting. But tactically, we have a lot more control over our own positioning than the enemy's. Not necessarily. Everyone looks at Banks. Falling into a death's door was educational. I did some experiments. Let's just say I can move anyone we like to anywhere I can put a door. And you can put those in any wall. Long as I have a clear shot. Well, that makes putting a target in front of the vein significantly easier. This actually sounds workable. I want to grill you both on the nitty-gritty of those powers later, but I'm ready to call that a plan. We send Banks and Ryan down to the mines. I don't need a lot of persuading to put a necromancer in the same room as the one guy we absolutely need alive. Yeah, okay, I mean, that sounds like something. It's a bit specific. I like the I like the paper representations of them down here. So what's next? I mean, I feel like that handles the mana stockpile in the mines. It doesn't cover the vault. How do we burn the mana stockpile in the vault? So the stockpile's in the vault right above the mines. It's 300,000 kilos of triple density refined mana, enough to make a global superpower with reactors tech. If we win the war, beat Liv, and burn the mana vein, we can eventually destroy it ourselves. But given the stakes, we don't want the fate of the world riding on that string of long shots all landing. We've got a guy who can burn it in the building. Let's get it burned. Well, can we get the stockpile down to the mines? Not through the corridors, logistically. But if we blew out the floor... Okay, interesting. It's not well supported. It's built over an old shaft, but the floor itself is cedanite. I've got no portable munitions to punch through that. How thick is not thick? Less than half a meter? Jen? Oh, you want to try a roof breach? Elaborate. Well, the breach spell that we use on doors. With the right reagents, there's no reason I can't inscribe a bigger version on a roof or a floor and just punch the whole thing out. What would you need? How much brimstone, stranglethorn, and snake blood do you have on hand? Well, our Arcanist gets in tomorrow. I'll text her your Rex. It's going to take like a fat adult python's worth of snake blood. Yeah, she'll have the snake blood. Okay, and I probably need some backup. Right, tactical priorities? Well, I'll need to get around the room fast to scribe the glyphs, which is something she's very good at. And I can't afford to focus on combat. So mobility support and raw damage. Doll? I'm in. You know, for a heist planning meeting, we really breezed past how we get into the vault. Yeah, we're expecting Reactor to lock down the mana vault pretty tight, but they've never bothered with the gold vault. You know, they're not short of cash. They don't know the two are connected. It's not on the blueprints. That's your in. Alright, I think I can take it from there. Alright, done. Jen and Doll sneak into the vault and blow the floor out. The mines team can take it from there. This is coming together. This seems like it might actually happen. Alright, what's next? Let's figure out what to do about Liv. Well, you know her better than anyone. What's our best shot? All of us at once? It's the only thing we haven't tried. I'm open to that, but we have to torch the mana first. No, won't work. Minute she gets word of any of us on site, she'll be there to handle it personally. He's not wrong. She don't trust reactor grunts to handle anyone with craft. Well, I can't sign any version of this thing where torching the mana depends on beating Kennedy first. With the greatest respect, your history with her does not convince me you can win that fight. No, that's fair, honestly. Ryan, could you get to her before the heist? How long have I got? Like, tonight? And where is she now? We don't know. And how fast can she move? I'm starting to realize these are rhetorical questions. Ha, clocked it. I'm slick as the next prick, but no prick's that slick. Okay, well, do any of yours have relevant craft, Moss? We got a fireball guy. She'll dodge it. Case has skin like a tank. She'll blow past him. Mila can speak to cats? That seems situational at best. Baz can freeze time. Oh, hello. For everyone. What does that mean? Him too. So he can't do anything when time is frozen. Right. So in what sense is time frozen? Yeah, I've been meaning to circle back on that. Okay. Well, a fascinating chat with Baz to be had there at some point, but he's not sounding like the live-killing hyper-wizard we're after. Would it be fair to summarize the rest of your list in terms of the original question as a no? That's not unfair. Okay, so what about the rank and file? Sheer numbers? Non-starter. Like dropping pups in a wood chipper. Sure, there's a theoretical tonnage of blood and bones that might eventually jam it, but yeah, we're definitely looking for a force depletion estimate that doesn't involve the phrase theoretical tonnage of bones. So what about a distraction? You said she'll run to any of us when we show up. What if we start with a decoy? The problem with the chronomancer is nothing distracts her for long. You might. What does that mean? Vesker, she's got a block on you. She should have killed you 10 times over by now, but she keeps stopping short. Well, we got history, but I think that rope runs out real fast if I get in her invasion gears. You vex her, mate. She talks like she's got something left to prove to you, fuck knows what. If you push her buttons, drum up a Barney, she ain't leaving that pissing match to handle us randos. It sounds so weird, like, to deliver his very British dialogue in a non-British voice, but again, my British accent is so... It's worse than the ones I'm doing for the other characters. You'll just have to believe me. You know, she's in it till she bodies you. Villains do love speeches. Fuck's sake, is that really our strategy? No, he's actually onto something. Conversation's the only thing she can't do instantly. You can't win an argument without waiting for a reply. And I've still got blink charms left. The rest of us could blink in to back you up as soon as the mana's torched. So that's a yes from our two live experts, and it doesn't jeopardize the burn, so it's a yes from me. Zan, let's put you on the roof. Furthest thing from the mines. Once she shows, keep her talking, keep your pulse, and everyone else will blink in when they've done their jobs. You got a chopper? Not that we could use for this. Can you blink up there? Not without a friendly to blink to, but you could use my broom. Can I? I mean, like physically, can I? Look, we'll make it work. Talk to me later. Jen is always providing the things that he needs. So, what's next? You know, this might actually be a plan. I'm as surprised as you are. When I was stacking up the file boxes, it was starting to feel hopeless. Let's sleep on it before we get too excited. We might have just talked too long and lost our minds. Oh, at last. Yeah, it's a big plan, but it's a big plan for a big thing. Okay, perk points for everybody. You have almost nothing left to gain. Time Bomb is certainly not bad, but we're using False Prophet a lot, so I don't know how often Time Boost is going to get our mana. If the Prophet dies before it disappears, your mana is refunded. I mean, there's a lot of situations, and especially against Liv, where I feel like that might actually work out. Predictive Bolt from 4 damage to 5 damage does cross some enemies' thresholds, but I don't feel like it's important enough. Let's take Persistent Illusion. Jen could take we could take Refreshing Bolt too, but it's harder to give her Static Blast again than it is to just move her again. 2 knockback to the final target. This one still seems really hard to actually get any use out of. And I also don't really, I don't see Storm Grenade being all that good for us. I guess it gives us a source of actionless, free damage in some situations, which could end up mattering. I think it's between this and Strong Finish. And I don't think Strong Finish is particularly compelling. So I guess I'm taking this, although I don't think this is particularly compelling either. And I think in most cases, we're still going to end up using both of our Gale Grenades just to move our people around. The thing is, Jen's kind of just powerful enough already. Alright. If the victim is an enemy, they gain 1 unsteady when the link is created. That's cute. Spectral Skull applying unsteady to all the targets is definitely interesting as well. Targets take 1 damage on impact. Again, just giving us a little bit more relatively free damage. Drowsy will be better damage overall to an enemy that we don't kill the same turn that the cocktail goes on. But that just doesn't happen all that much, right? I think I'm gonna do the Spectral Skull. That one again is pretty. I don't know. I'm not sure if I think that's even gonna be valuable. All right, this. I do think wall mode on the riot block is actually pretty meaningful. There have been a lot of opportunities, a lot of situations where I wished I had it, so I feel pretty good about that one. I don't know if we want the victim dying faster from the rabid bite. And I do think we don't actually want knockback on the Spore Bomb because there are a lot of times where I want to just throw both the Spore Bombs in the same place and have them affect all the same people. So I guess that means it's Quick Sprout. We'll lock those in, and then, I wasn't expecting to just do the stress stream, but we ended up 50 minutes into the episode here before we were ready to deploy again. So I think I am going to call it there. I think that's going to be it for us for today, and thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, the heist to end it all. And we'll see you then.